Hey guys, this is Matt for Creative, and this is a straightaway video. Basically, unless you're in a certain situation, don't get the iPhone 16e. There are so many better options, and a lot of them are going to be used phones or older phones that are coming at a lesser cost. This is just something that doesn't work at the price point at which it was released, and also it doesn't make sense as a phone of that kind of shape and size and weight in general, and I'm going to go over a few things. Right now, I'm comparing this to something that this may be this is one of my favorite phones that I've ever gotten, and this is one of my oldest phones that I still use, even though we have a cracked screen on it. This is an iPhone 13 Pro, not Max, 13 Pro. The one I have here is a terabyte, and I love this thing. But we're going to be coming back to that, and I really want to compare this against what I would really think is like the baseline of phones, and that is the iPhone 12. If you have a phone that is earlier than the iPhone 12, I think it is then appropriate to get this phone. Now, I know that this iPhone 16e does have great battery life in comparison to anything in Apple's lineup, but you can always get like a MagSafe battery pack for the 13 Pro or 12 Pro or 12 regular. And that's the thing, you cannot get that for the 16e unless you have like a case on it, but still it doesn't charge with MagSafe quality, fastness of charging, if that makes any sense. But it's kind of shocking that the iPhone 16e came out in 2025 for $599. It's honest to God shocking, because I'm comparing this to what I have here, because I was kind of like, the iPhone 16e is alluring because it's a new phone, but it only has one camera. It has a 60 hertz refresh, which I don't think matters because I tune my Pro devices down, this one, 16 Pro, I tuned them down to 60 hertz, or 60 frames per second, I believe, if that, yeah. Because I don't see the need. Now, I'm looking at video all the time. I'm editing video all the time and photos. I don't see the need for promotion. I was like, it's the only reason why I would give the iPhone 16e a chance. But at $599, I think it's way too high. This should have been a $499 max phone for the starting storage, which I think they could have done $499 for 64 gigabytes, and then done what is it, $549 for 128. As of right now, it's 128 gigabytes for $599. It just does not work. But again, iPhone 12. If you have an iPhone 12, not Pro, don't even think about getting this. You have a 2-camera system on there. You have a standard and an ultra wide. I know it's not the 40 megapixels and you can't do that digital zoom to 2 times, but still the camera is perfect quality, and you get the ultra wide, which is something that I see myself needing a lot of the times. Now, I did try the iPhone SE 3 and the original SE, and I do have like an iPhone 6S and yeah, the original SE. Now those are, I've realized those are now kind of vintage feeling cameras. The photography that they make and the videos that they make look a little bit older because they were released in around 2016, 2015. And I use them as such. But if I want the best quality, of course I'm going to go for my 16 Pro here with the 5x zoom, which is, I think, an immaculate looking lens, as well as the ultra wide and the wide. And even if I had to go back in time, I'd be perfectly fine using this, just because I do get the ultra wide, the standard, and this is a 3x zoom. Still perfectly acceptable. It may be a little bit heavier and the battery is not going to be great, even if it was a brand new device, and even if I didn't crack that screen, which makes me upset sometimes because I don't know if this is waterproof anymore. I kind of keep this one at home and use this as my storage, but I do want to go down and see what the difference is between. Now first, no MagSafe on the 16e, and it has like a bunch of just cuts. All of the phones that I've mentioned before, iPhone 12, 13 Pro, 16e, have a 16.1-inch screen, Super Retina display. The Pro has the ProMotion technology. The 13 Pro is heavier with stainless steel. The 12 is going to have aluminum with the glass back, same as the 16e The new one has an action button, which is kind of good, and I have used that in certain occasions, and I do like that, but it's something I have found that I actually don't need to give up. So this one has the volume rocker, and I have two very important buttons that I have mapped to my iPhone 16 Pro's action button that actually just live right here. So I don't have to actually use the button, even though maybe I would only do the action button in my pocket, although it needs to see your face to activate. So easily I can use these two kind of on-screen buttons to do the same thing. iPhone 12 is an A14, iPhone 13 Pro is an A15, iPhone 16e has an A18, and this comes from somebody who works with video and photo professionally every single day. I put out maybe at the max 20 videos a day on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm able to process everything perfectly with an iPhone 13 Pro. And that's the A15 chip. That's a 6-core CPU, 5-core GPU, 16-core neural engine, compared to a 6-core CPU, 4-core GPU, 16-core neural engine with the A18. It just, I understand that if you were to get this phone today, it would go out of fashion with like OS operating system updates quicker, but and granted, I'm still on the most current, and I'm actually using a beta for this 18.1 point whatever it happens to be right now, and it's still perfectly fine. And I am curious to see what would happen when this goes out of in not that update cycle for maybe a year. The first year you're going to be fine. The second year it may be kind of sketchy, but you will be getting security updates. So don't forget, at least you'll be getting that. But what I use, and again, this is to edit videos professionally, that is Video Leap for video. All my video right here. TikTok or YouTube is going to be right here. Or it's going to be VSCO, VSCO, for editing raw photos on here. I can instantly do all of that here too, and that's going to be fine. Like, even without updates for a year or two, you're still going to be fine with this. And the only thing that I ever kind of got annoyed is, I remember I had the 14 Pro Max, the last stainless steel phone. It felt very heavy in the hand. It was kind of a burden to hold. And coming back to the 13 Pro, of course, it feels heavier than the 16 Pro Max, even though this is a little bit bigger. And trust me, I'm thinking about this without a case too, so don't think of this. But I do want to look and see what the weight of the 12 versus 13 Pro versus 16e would be. So we're going to scroll down, size and weight. So all of the phone's height is exactly the same at 5.78. All of the width is exactly the same at 2.82 inches. The depth is about the same. The 12 is 0.29 inches. The 13 Pro is 0.3 inches, which is a little bit thicker, and the 16e is a little bit thicker than that at 0.31 inches, but it's going to be barely there. But the weight is where we come with this here. The weight of the 12 is 5.78 ounces. The weight of the 13 Pro is 7.19 ounces. That's significantly more if you're holding this in your hand all the time. And the 16e is 5.88 ounces. So it's about, let's see, 164 grams for the 12, 167 grams for the 16e. It is heavier, not by a lot, but it does make this into a very heavy phone, and especially with the case on. I'm putting the case back on because it's making me nervous not having this, especially with a cracked screen. But let's see what would be any kind of difference. Oh, here's something interesting. The 12 standard has 625 nits max brightness. The iPhone 16e has 800. 13 Pro has 1,000 nits. They all have 1200 nits peak brightness for HDR, by the way. All have True Tone, all Super Retina. The storage capacity for the 12 only went up to 256. You can get up to 512 gigabytes for the 16e. That lack of MagSafe charging really hurts, though. I love the option of going without a case for all of my phones when I'm at home, or if I just want to go out without a case. I just want to make that choice. And I do use MagSafe to secure my wallet on there. And when I do need to power it, if I'm out for a long day, I will put a MagSafe battery pack on it. When I'm with the case, that's perfectly fine. But those times I need to shed the case, and I feel like I do sometimes, I would not have that option. And again, charging this, 15 watts for the 12 and 13 Pro, up to only 7.5 watts, so extremely slow charging. If you're using the device and charging at the same time, maybe you won't get overheating, but you will get minimal charging, and just it'll be kind of very hard to use this. All of these have ceramic shield. 68 basically has tougher ceramic shield. Oh, here's one thing. Again, this may be very key for you, but 12 and 13 Pro, they have Lightning. All new phones, basically all my devices other than that will have USB-C. So if you're a one cable person, get that. Don't get that, actually. Get the 15. That leads me into the next thing that you'll be forgetting is Apple Intelligence. My 16 Pro has Apple Intelligence. 13 Pro does not. I don't use Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence right now is functionless. It's good at maybe summarizing some things on your lock screen if you get a lot of emails and messages, but outside of that, it is not functional whatsoever. It is a gimmick right now. It heats up the phone, it kills the battery. It is not something to be interested in right now. I definitely wouldn't think about that. What is interesting though is iPhone 12, 17 hours of playback. I know the 13 line increased battery efficiency, and I think it made the battery a little bit bigger too. 13 Pro, 22 hours. 16E is 26 hours of video playback. That is significantly more. But again, don't get it. Get a 15, and I think you'll be perfectly fine. We're going to go and swap this 12 for a regular 15, and I want to see what the battery difference is with both of these. Battery, oh, I think I went too far. Because I'm curious, I just want to see what the battery life would be. 15 is 20 hours, 16E is 26 hours. Okay, that's a very significant jump. That is a significant jump. But there are so many reasons why you should get a let's see, I want to look and see how much a 13 Pro, if you ever use back market, that is what I'm using right now. We're going to look up a 13 Pro, and as I'm doing this, what do you think the price would be for 120 gigabytes? For a 13 Pro unlocked, which has physical and eSIM, and I love eSIM, I have to say. It's really good for swapping things. It starts at $357 for 128 gigabyte, compared to $599 for the same amount of storage. This one has 3 cameras. Oh, here's one big thing. This one shoots in ProRAW for photos, and I love that. You also get like this, like the log video. You don't get, you don't get log, but you get ProRes video as well. But I cannot shoot anything outside of RAW because I love editing that Apple RAW and actual RAW, which I shoot with Moment, and the 16E will not be able to do that. So, wow, even the Pro Max is 13 Pro Max is $429.99. Let's see how much it takes to go up to $599 for any of these. So we're gonna do, oh wait, why did it go to a computer? Really? Come on. We're doing 13 Pro. It doesn't want to do it. Why is it going to like a laptop? The 13 Pro was able to get, yeah, up to 1 terabyte. Maybe it's just not available right now. Actually, I'm going to go back, and we are going to go and take a look at 13 Pro, and I'm going to see about upgrading the storage. So fair, okay, interesting. If you want a premium one, it's $639. That means basically like new out of the box. Excellent, $407, still $200 less. Okay, we're going for fair. Actually, let's go for good. We go for good, and even if you got a terabyte, it would be $492. That is 8 times, is that 8 times the storage? That is 8 times the storage. And you get to shoot in RAW, and you get ProRes, Apple ProRes, if you're really into like meticulous video editing. You get the 3 camera system. I literally don't get why they came up with this price. It should be $499. At the minimum, like at the low end, I had my hopes and dreams it was going to be $449. But the one thing I think they really dropped the ball on this was, so there is a Max and a plus size. That's a bigger size phone. There is the standard, let's say 16. There's the 16 Pro, which is technically a little bit bigger in terms of the phone. I want to take a look and see 16 versus 16 Pro. The size of the screen is, well, they're both they're both, wait, oh, I did 15 Pro because I'm not paying attention. All right. The 16 size is 6.1 inches. 16 Pro is a little bit bigger with a smaller bezel, and at 16.3, the iPhone 16e should have been 5.11? Oh wow, I'm so stupid right now. 5.11 inches. That's what they should have made it. It should be different by a touch, just in case you want that not significantly smaller phone, because we all saw how the Mini failed, even though it's my personal favorite phone. I love the SE, the original one, which was tiny in size, just minuscule in size. But they really should have made that a differentiating point and kind of kept the battery at the same. Like, they didn't need to make that battery that much bigger. Still, I think you would have gotten better battery life, just being more efficient, but just make it just a little bit different in size. I would love it if we got the iPhone mini as the SE4. Honest to God, I would buy that in a second if we got that, but I just don't think they can do that small of a phone anymore with a chip that really heats up basically every phone that it's put up in. And if you know anything about even a 15 Pro Max, that thing runs hot all the time, even if you're just scrolling Instagram. Same with the 16 Pro to a lesser extent, but still, it's embarrassing. I really don't get it. But yeah, I do not understand why they made this not just a slight bit smaller. It should be this, and one that's just a little bit smaller than this. I don't get it. So many different reasons why this just doesn't work. But I really, really use this as a recommendation to never get the iPhone 16e. If it is a free phone where your carrier is giving this, a lot of the times they give you a Pro phone or a regular. Try and get that. But if this is all that you can get it. If your budget is $599, literally you can get a good condition phone. Actually, let's see what happens when you go to excellent for $549. An excellent version of the 13 Pro, not Max, with 1 terabyte is $549. You still get 8 times the storage, 3 cameras, premium build also, you know, I love that stainless steel, for $50 less. That's wild. That is wild. And also, I'm going to do a little test here too. Let's say we went for the 15 Pro on back market. I'm curious. Okay, well, the back market 15 Pro unlocked starts at $649, so it's a little bit going up. If your ceiling is $599, you're just not going to get that. Let's see what happens when you look at the 14 Pro. 14 Pro is $649. Sorry, $469. I'm dyslexic right now. So we go there, we get it in good condition, and how much can we get? You can get up to 512 and still be under at $562. Don't ever get the 16E. The last check I think I want to do is the regular 15. I want to see an unlocked 15 with 2 cameras. Starts at 512. That's weird. The fair condition one is 547. The good condition one is 512. Weird. You can get a unlocked iPhone 15 standard, not Pro, with 256 gigabytes of storage for $599. Come on, guys. Like, this is pretty easy. Don't ever get this phone. Apple, I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but I think you're about to embarrass yourself with this release. It's kind of on par with the iPhone. You know what? I remember the iPhone 5C, where it was literally just $100 less, even though this time it's $200 less than the iPhone 5S at the time. You know, it's just like, why? Why do we do this? Anyway, guys, this video has been going on long enough. Don't get the iPhone 16e ever. Get a used phone. Get a 15. Just do something else. Actually, how much is a standard 15? If I was just going to go get it on their website. 15 begins at... Oh, they slopped this in between. It's at $699. Oh, that's interesting. Not $599. But like I said, you can get it used with double the storage and stay under the $599 thing. Anyway, I've been talking way too long. I'm about to choke on my own saliva. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget I'm on Instagram and Threads at M8B9. You can email me at creativenyc2025@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.